So we are going to discuss calculating your turf grass management program. And with a day like today, man, it's just right around the corner, isn't it? Springtime is here. And I am so thankful for that. Unfortunately, I was trapped inside here in this office all day. But eventually I'll get outside, but still a little ground temperatures are not quite warm enough. And before we can actually do, our first application. So did anybody put out any lime yet, or? We're doing soil test. Let's see.
Doing lime or soil test.
All right. Got a couple more people just jumping in. All right. 919-422-9042. What's your name? Telephone number 919-422-9042. All right. So if you do have questions, you can talk. You can raise your hand in the chat box. You can type in the question here in the chat box, raise your hand or talk. I want this to be interactive. I want these 2 hours to go by really fast. This is a fun class. I really enjoy teaching it because it's stuff that we do every day. How many of you guys actually have a lawn care fertility program in place that you're doing, for your customers, either 5, 6, or 7 apps, just depending on where you're at and the time that you've got? Anybody have a program already designed?
Yeah, I do, Steve. Eric, it's Steve.
Hey, Steven, what kind of program? First of all, where are you located at, Steven?
I'm in Wilmington on the coast. And,
good deal.
We do about 7 apps, pre-emerge, depending on the type of turf. We try to put it down about 3 or 4 pounds of N. We don't do a lot of lime down here anymore. Our pHs seem to be going through the roof lately.
Gotcha.
25, 30 years ago, we limed all the time, but we got pHs now that are in the upper 6s and low 7s.
Gotcha.
Which, I think maybe it's a combination of what the EPA has put the restrictions on certain carriers and so on and so forth. But we've got a pretty good application in the winter months. We'll do a spot treatment, something that's snuck through on some of the pre-emerge. But we're looking pretty clean right now, even keeping that stingy Poe out of the way.
Yeah. Well, good deal. How many clients you service down there on the fertility apps?
Well, we're kind of funny. I'm the property manager at Landfall, which is a gated community of 2,200 acres. So we created our own landscape team. So we have to stay within our walls, but we have about 1,000 clients.
Gotcha. Cool.
And
I recognize you now. You've taken my irrigation and landscape contractor classes.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yep.
And we got about 1,000 clients. We probably have about 600 of those on our turf program.
Yeah.
Some we just we try to offer a wide range of hardscaping, installs, horticultural, lawn mowing, the whole 9 yards. We even provide pool services, handyman services, and take good care of the people behind the white walls.
Yeah. Well, good deal. Appreciate that information, man. It's always good to hear, what's going out there, especially, being down there on the coast. So good deal. Well, guys, this is what we're going to do. We are going to calculate a turfgrass program. It's a dry program. So we really don't get into the weeds that are, spraying the weeds that much. We're going to focus on, doing a soil test, liming, and then doing the applications. And basically what we're doing is we're going over a program, kind of designed by Site One. So we've kind of tweaked it for ourselves. But, the first thing we do, we're going to do a lime after we do our soil test. So we include a soil test in one of our applications. We may not do a soil test for each client each year, but we're definitely going to try to do it within a 2-year period for them. So we'll take this as getting a new client and actually starting brand new. Their yards look bad, and so they've hired us to actually take it over from there. And so our objectives, we will work together on some common pesticide applications. So if you got a chance, grab some paper, grab a little notepad, and we're going to be doing a few calculations, adding some things up. We'll work on those together, and then we will calculate some basic application math problems on ourselves, and then kind of talk about it after we do it. And then we will calculate a lawn care program totaling all the products that we're going to use for the year. And then last but not least, we will review some pesticide labels to find application rates. And so we're going to look at some slides, probably the first 50 minutes. So we'll take a 10-minute break, top of the hour or whatever, and we'll come back, and then we will actually do these math problems and actually work through the program that we've designed. And so the first step, we're going to lime it. We're going to lime according to our soil test recommendations. We use Site One ourselves to actually take the soil samples in, just because we can get them back a lot quicker than sending them to NC State. And then we will do our lime application based on the soil test results. With the CalTurf Pro, we're going to pick it up for about $15 a bag, 50-pound bag. And soil tests are going to run about $16.95 per soil test. And we'll see at the end of the program that, making this an actual, we just consider it an app. We're going there, we're doing the soil sample, we're collecting the soil, and then we're taking it and delivering it. So we're going to charge them, a price like it was an app. And then based on adding all these things together and coming up with the program, the number of apps, we're going to see what we should be charging per application. There's also some SoluCal Plus that you can use. This is going to be a little bit more, expensive. This, raises the pH efficiently. It combats the acidic soils. University tested and proven, saves you time and money, and it is a low dust formula. And so this is going to, get the soil in gear. And like I said, we're paying a little bit more. We're paying $50 versus $15 for the CalTurf Pro. Now, these prices were, based on, several months ago. They may have changed a little bit here in the last few weeks. And so February, we're in February. It's still, like I said, the ground temperatures are a little cool around here in Winston-Salem to actually put out our pre-emergent. But if we run, that first application, if we use the Stonewall barricade, which is 1706, 30% SCU, this is the first round of the pre-emergent. The timing of the application should be made just according to the soil temperatures. This creates a barrier that prevents crabgrass and other weeds from germinating, and at the same time applies 3/4 pound of nitrogen to our soil. Another good first round analysis would be your 25-25 or your 13-25s. This barricade is going to cover 12,500 square feet per bag, and we're looking at about $22 per 50-pound bag. And so basically, guys, if you do have your notepad, you get a little notepad right here, start jotting these prices down, because that's going to help us by the time we get through the slide decks, and then we start actually calculating it. So we've got a soil test. Anybody tell me how much the soil test cost right offhand? They remember?
$16.95.
$16.95. So I'm just writing that down. Soil test $16.95. We got our Cal Turf Pro.
$15.
$15. How many square feet is that going to cover?
12,500.
Cal Turf is 10,000 square feet.
Just 12,500.
And with our SoluCal Plus, if we decided to go that route, we're going to spend a little bit more money.
50.
And that is actually $50.
And yeah, I mean, that's right here.
And SoluCal is going to give us about 10,000 square feet as well. And so we're writing that down. And then we're going to move in, like I said, to our first pre-emergent. We'll just call it first round. First round pre-em. And we're going to use a 1706. And it's going to run us $22 a bag. And it's going to cover 12,500 square feet.
Anything tonight?
All right. And then so our second round, we are going to do a Stonewall Barricade 1307, or we could do a 1706, or we can go with Dimension. Probably go with Dimension the second round, since we're using the Barricade the first round. But we'll use a 1325, 30%. This is the second round of the pre-emergent and is very, very critical round. This application overlaps with the first to give crabgrass and weeds control through late August. Another good choice would be, 5, 10, 20, or if you prefer low nitrogen or no nitrogen, 007. And this is going to cover 12,000 square feet. And we have got that is going to, anybody know off the top of their head what that's cost? I'm getting about $22 a bag. And it's just like, the first application. Third application. Well, maybe not. So if we consider lime, we do our soil test lime, then 2%. So this is basically our fifth. So we're going to do a fifth app, June through July. We could do 1537. We could do organic 1.56 iron or a 5020 with 10% iron. This application is primarily for irrigated turf or other turf that is not under stress. The iron in this application will green up the grass and will help with summer stress. So you take a lawn over this time of year and it's looking kind of bad, we can kind of green it up a little bit. This is actually going to cost us $20 per bag. And we're going to cover 10,000 square feet. Then we're going to move into our plugging and seeding, and we'll use a start to fertilize. Fall is always the best time to renovate and reseed your turf. Use our premium turf type seed blend and start to fertilize to improve the color and density of new turf, as well as aid in winter hardiness. We're going to cover 12,000 square feet with bags, and 1822 or 1824.12 is going to cost us about $20. Plugging and seeding, 1824.12, going to cost us $20, and we're going to get 12,000 square feet. And using our seed, go ahead and figure about $80 a bag, a little more per 50-pound bags, and we're going to get 10 to 12,000 square feet All right. And then we're going to move into our November, December app. 21.5 with 25% SUC, 50% organic, or we can go with the 2803. We've even done some 24.511 in days past. This round gives the turf a full pound of nitrogen going into the winter to help the turf maintain its color and to green up quicker in the spring. It's going to give us 14,000 square feet of coverage. And it's going to cost us $18 per 50-pound bag. $14,000 square feet at $18 per bag. All right. And so if we are going to look at some liquid apps, using the Q4 for our grassy and broadleaf weeds, the Q4 Plus, 2.5 gallon jug is roughly $3.25. If we go with Speed Zone, we're going to get 2.5 gallon jug for $2.20. I love using Speed Zone, but I get a headache every time I use it. All right, so let's kind of look at this situation right here. We're going to take a company. Let's say we've gotten 5,000 lawns, which is a good number to shoot for. That'd be awesome to have 5,000 fertility apps. Let's say the average square footage of these lawns is 8,320 square feet. I think the average, anybody in Raleigh, it seems like, remember Dr. Reynolds stating that the average square foot was around 8,000 square feet in Raleigh. And so what we're going to do with this number, with our square footage and the number of lawns we have, we're going to figure out how much product for each round we need in the program, the cost for each application, and then we'll look at kind of a labor, what we'd want to charge for that. And then we'll look at our total cost of product for each round. And then what is our total cost of products for the year? And then what is your total labor cost for the year? So this is kind of like a good little business plan to put together if you're wanting to start fertility or actually get into the business. All right, so we got some math here a little bit, and then we're going to see some example problems that I want you guys to kind of look at before we jump into calculating all this information. But we determined from a calibration test. And so let's kind of talk a little bit about calibration. We're getting ready to start putting out this applications, and we may have already done our lime. Probably most of us have. When do we need to calibrate that equipment?
Before every use.
Before every use, yes. Every single morning before your crews head out, they need to calibrate their equipment. And who needs to be the one calibrating the equipment? You as the owner? You as the operator?
The operator.
The operator has to do it. Yes. And why is that? Give me a reason why you need the operator to calibrate their own equipment.
Work walks differently.
Yes. People's strides are different. You might have an employee that's a little bit taller. You might have one that's shorter. You might have one that walks, a little bit slower. We've all got those employees, right? They kind of drag their feet. And then you might have a go-getter that's, really humping it out there. So they need to be the ones, calibrating their equipment. They do it every single morning. And what's the next thing they need to do in the evenings when they get back to the shop with that equipment?
Wash it.
Get it ready for the next day. And can somebody tell me another time that they may want to recalibrate their equipment during the same day?
After lunch,
After lunch. And why is that?
everybody slows down.
We slow down. We do. We might be walking. What's the average speed walking? You know, just a normal person. You might know the miles per hour, what a normal walk would be. Like if we were going shopping or whatever, and we're just kind of taking a stroll. What do you think? 3? Clifford types in 3. Yeah, it's like 2 to 3 miles an hour. And so basically that right there tells you, yeah, each applicator is different. One person might walk 2 miles an hour. You may have another employee that's going to walk the 3 miles an hour. So that's the average speed. Well, let's say in the morning, gung ho, it's nice, cool temperatures. You're out there pushing that spreader or dragging that hose. You've got energy. You're walking 3 miles an hour. Your employee goes and eats a heavy lunch. It gets hot. They're going to slow down. They may drop to 1.5 miles an hour or 2 hours. When they slow down, when they go from 3 miles an hour down to 2 miles an hour, what are they doing with their application rate?
Increasing it.
It increases it. You're right. They're going slower, so there's more product coming out of the hopper or out of the hose. Now, they might. Now, no, it's going to be impossible to calibrate twice a day. I mean, it is. I mean, the last thing I want to see is one of our employees calibrating a spreader on the street in front of one of, our customers' homes. But if it gets to that point, yes, you may want to do that. If it just gets too, best thing to do is probably quit spraying at lunchtime. If it's getting that hot, we don't need to be spraying it anyway. If they're slowing down that much, is just go back and finish the next day. Maybe only have half a day application services. But even think about it. What if that employee looks down at his route sheet and they notice they've got, 2 more yards and it's 4 o'clock? What do you think they're going to be doing?
Rushing.
They're going to be rushing it. And when they're doubling their speed, what are they doing to the application rate?
Not putting enough down.
Not putting enough down. They're cutting it in half. So the question is, do you think it's more hurting your finances if they're applying too much pesticide or not enough?
Not enough.
Why is that, Michael?
Well, like we talked about last week, you have to go back out there again, and then chances are you're going to put too much. So you've wasted a trip, and then you've wasted more product.
Yep.
And it'll actually do more damage.
Exactly. It's hurting your finances by putting out too little, because Mr. and Miss Smith, they're going to get mad. They're going to call you back. You've got to go out to the property twice. The technician that gets sent back out there, they're a little upset. So they're probably going to put a little extra in there to make sure they get it covered. And then they've more than probably doubled the application. So label is a law. They've just committed a crime when applying that much. And so good information there. Appreciate all of y'all stepping in with that. So calibration is key. And so with this problem right here, we've determined from a calibration test that your boom sprayer delivers 10 gallons of water over a 1/4 acre test area. So we got a 1/4 acre. We need to apply a pesticide product to a 10-acre field. And we all know there's 43,560 square feet in an acre. And our pesticide label recommends that 4 ounces of liquid product be added to give a desired finish spray of 1 gallon. Remember, there's 128 fluid ounces in 1 gallon. So how much spray volume and how much product is needed to spray this 10-acre field? So step 1, we're going to figure out how much spray mixture is needed for the 10-acre application area. Always use information from your calibration test. And so in this example, 10 gallons of water was used over a 1/4 acre calibration test area. And if we do our cross multiplications, we can figure out that 10 gallons times 10 acres right here. And then we're going to divide it by the 1/4 acre. We're going to solve for Y. we got 400 gallons of spray mixture needed to do the 10-acre field. Step 2, we'll figure out how much pesticide product is needed to make up the 400 gallons of spray mix. We'll use
160
the,
ounces.
do what, Doug?
160 ounces.
Of our product?
No. I'm sorry, I pushed the wrong number. Sorry about that.
No, you're all right, bud. But we'll need the 400 gallons of spray mixture. So how much pesticide product is needed to make up that spray mix? So remember, we're using a label rate of 4 ounces of product per 1 gallon of spray. We've got 400 gallons. So 400 gallons spray mixture times 4 ounces of liquid pesticide product per gallon means we need 1,600 ounces of product needed. Well, we know there's 128 ounces in 1 gallon. And so 1,600 ounces of product divided by 128 ounces, we need 12.5 gallons of product to put on the 10-acre field. So to treat the 10 acres, you'll need a total final spray mixture of 400 gallons that includes 12.5 gallons of concentrated product. So how much water should we put in our tank? Do we need 400 gallons of water?
387.
We need 387, right? Why do we need the 387?
Total volume. We got to have a liquid and a product.
Liquid and the product. So our water and our pesticide makes up the 400 gallons. And we know that we're going to take 12.5 gallons of product to do the 10-acre site. So 12.5 subtracted from 400 gives us at 386.5 or 387. 387.5. Yep. So a lot of the times we don't think about that we have to subtract our product from our total spray mixture to get the correct number of water. What happens if we'd have filled our tank full of 400 gallons of water and then dumped 12.5 gallons of product in there? What do you think's happened to our solution?
You diluted it.
We diluted it. We're not spraying enough. And then we may have to go back and spray again.
Yeah, if it's a 400-gallon tank, you poured 12.5 on the ground.
Yeah. Yep. So good stuff. Good stuff. Now we're going to look at this problem. And if you guys were in the class last week, we kind of went over this, so we'll kind of go over it a little quickly. But this is a, barricade where, that's one of the first applications that we can use in a turfgrass program. So how much would an application of barricade 65 WDG? What does WDG stand for?
Wettable granular.
Or water dispersible granular.
Yeah.
But how much would an application of this cost for an 8,000 square foot home loan if the labeled rate is 1 pound active ingredient and barricade 65 WDG is $39.95 per pound? Well, then how much would an application of a granular combination product cost for the same lawn at the same rate? So we're kind of looking at a very similar problem or square footage lawn where we have 8,320 that's in our average lawns that we're going to do the application, the program for. We're going to spend $39.95 per pound on the barricade. So using the dry formulations, the number on the label refers to the percent active ingredient. So our example of the barricade 65 WDG is 65% by weight prodiamine, which is our active ingredient. Therefore, 100 pounds of barricade 65 WDG contains 65 pounds of prodiamine. 1 pound barricade 65 WDG contains 0.65 pounds of prodiamine. With our liquid application, when using the liquid formulations, the number on the label refers to the pounds active ingredient per gallon of product. Example, 4FL has 4 pounds prodiamine active ingredient per gallon of product. Therefore, if we purchase a 2.5 gallon jug of barricade, 4FL will have 10 pounds prodiamine. So our cost is 4 pounds of active ingredient per gallon times 2.5 gallons is equivalent to 10 pounds active ingredient. So how are we going to come up with our cost on these lawns? Well, the math is called dimensional analysis. We want to start with what we have to get with what we want. So what are we starting with? What do we have? What's the one thing that we know we have right there, starting with this program?
8,320 square feet.
Yeah, we know our square footage. We got 8,000 square feet. And we want to start with what we got to get to where we want. And we want to know our cost. And so we're going to look at a little sample problem. We're going to talk a little bit about some beer instead of fertilize. So we're going to work this same problem the same way we would for fertilize. It's a little bit easier talking about trucks and beverages. How much would 5 truckloads of beer cost when delivered to a convenience store if there are 1,000 20-ounce drinks per truck and they cost 5 ounces of 5 cents an ounce? Try to work that out. Just see if anybody work it out like the calculator on their phones. We're starting with 5 truckloads. We know that 5 truckloads, each one of them has 1,000 beers. Each beer is 20 ounces, and that 1 ounce cost a nickel. So how much are those trucks going to cost?
$25,000.
$5,000.
Yeah, about 5,000.
A piece.
No, about 1,000.
5,000 total.
A piece, yeah.
So if we set it up in a dimensional analysis, if we set it up like this, remember, we got what we have. We have 5 truckloads, and we're trying to get to the cost. And so we're going to move across this problem. So beginning with the unit you have, proceed to the unit you want by canceling out the units through multiplication. So we got our 5 truckloads. We've got 1,000 beers per truckload, 20 ounces per beer, and 5 cents per 1 ounce. So by canceling that out, what units are we going to cancel out?
The 20-ounce beer.
The beers.
You're going to cancel out the truckloads
We'll cancel out the truckloads first. Yep.
and then the beer and then the ounces, and you're left with dollars.
Yep. Good job, Miss Ballard. So truckloads out, beers crossed out, ounces crossed out. We're left with that dollar sign. So if we multiply 5 times 1,000 times 20 times 0.5, what does that give us? $5,000. What's 5,000 times 20? What was that, Miss Ballard?
5,000 times 20?
Yeah.
100,000
100,000.
And then times 0.05
is 5,000.
is 5,000. And we can see it right here. Crossing it out. Each one of them crossed out. We're left with that dollar sign right there. It's $5,000. So let's go back to that barricade problem. How much would the application of barricade cost for the 8,000 square foot home lawn if the labeled rate is 1 pound active ingredient per acre and barricade 65 WDG is $39.95 per pound? Start with what we have to get to where we want. We have a 8,000 square foot lawn and we want to know the cost. So with those same with that same type of table, draw a straight line across your paper, and then we need to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. And then put the numbers in there. And tell me what we get per application. What would our product cost for that 8,000 square foot lawn if we know we're buying $39.95? So just draw that straight line across your paper and draw 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. That first column will be 8,000 square feet. And I'll give you the next one. I went and put 1 acre over 43,560. Then we have 1 pound of active ingredient per acre. And then we have 1 pound of barricade has 0.65 pounds of active ingredient of the prodiamine.
And 34 cents.
How much?
Oh, $7.34.
Close. A little bit more. So let's look right here. So we went and we put our 8,000 square foot in that first column. There's nothing underneath that. So we're starting with what we have. We have 8,000 square foot lawn. We have 1 acre, and it is 43,560 square feet in an acre. So 1 acre per 43,560. We have 1 pound active ingredient per acre. We have 1 pound of barricade. It has 0.65 pounds active ingredient. And then we know it cost us $39.95 per 1 pound of barricade. So we're basically crossing out what? We're going to cross out the square feet. The square feet right here. Yeah, I couldn't fit it in there, but the square feet cross out. The 1 acres cancel out. The pounds per active ingredient cross out. The 1 pound crosses out. And again, we're left with that dollar sign. So if we multiply 8,000 times 1 times 1 times 1 times $39.95, that gives us $319,600. If we have 43,560 times 1 times 0.65 times 1, that gives us 28,314. We divide that 28,314 into 319,600. We get $11.28. So therefore, for an 8,000 square foot lawn, the total product cost for this application of barricade of 65 water dispersible granulars would be $11.28. How much would it cost us on 1,000 square foot lawn? Because I like taking my lawn care program and dividing everything into 1,000 square foot blocks. So when I go to someone's property and I measure the square footage or whatever, I'm like, okay, if it's a 24,000 square foot lawn, half acre, I've got 24 1,000 square foot blocks. So how much product of this same product, how much does it cost us per 1,000 square feet?
$1.41.
$1.41. Okay. I like knowing that number per 1,000 square feet. So let's start thinking about the program that we're working on. We have an 8,320 square foot lawn. That's the average. So how many total square feet do we have in this fictional company that we have. We got 5,000 lawns. So how many square feet are we actually looking at? I hear the numbers ticking. That's a good sound. If we say 5,000.
8 acres.
How much?
91.82 acres.
Okay. And how much would we spend in barricade for that round? For this 65 WDG?
1,035.
So we got, so we take our 5,000 times 8,320. So we basically got 41,600,000 of square footage. We went ahead and broke it down into acres. Uh-oh.
Believe it should be 918 and a quarter.
918. So if we divide by 43,560, 955 and a quarter. Yep. But go back to the million square feet. How many do we have? We got 41,600,000. Divide that by 1,000. So we've got 41,600,000 square foot blocks of turf grass. And what did we figure out per 1,000 square feet on the barricade?
141.
How much was it?
About 58,565.
The young man with the yellow shirt on. I saw you just popped up in there on the box.
I just did the math quickly again. I'm thinking 141.
So if we did the 41,600 times the 1.41, so we're spending quite a bit of money for that application.
48,656.
It's up there, ain't it?
Yep.
It's up there.
48,656.
I got 58,656.
58,656.
Yep. So that's our product cost if we had 5,000 lawns that we were taking care of. So, but back to this 8,000 square foot lawn that we're looking here on the screen. What do y'all think your labor rate needs to be? First of all, how long do you think it would take a technician to do an application, 8,000 square feet? How long is it going to take an individual? Think you can do it in 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Should be 8 minutes, right? I mean, 8,000 square feet. 1,000 per minute.
1,000 per minute. So with travel time, unloading the spreader and stuff, dumping it in the hopper, what do you think? 10 minutes, 12 minutes total time on site?
Yeah.
Or probably 15 knowing our employees.
Yeah.
Maybe 30 minutes.
Are you figuring blowing off any, hardscapes?
See that exactly. Yeah. You definitely need to do that too.
30
So,
minutes.
probably 15 minutes.
Easy.
So, and then, the idea is to do it where you can get 4 or 5 in a row. You don't want to have to get in the truck and drive, 15 minutes, 20 minutes to do the next one. You want to be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're all on the same street. That way you could probably get, definitely 4 or 5 applications, per hour. So I like figuring it that way. And I like I'd much rather do something a little bit cheaper, knowing that I can stay on that same street all day long versus calculating up or adding the windshield time where we're not doing anything. So, guys, we've talked for about 50 minutes. So what the Department of Ag wants us to do is take a 10-minute break. But has anyone not given me their license number in
Did
the
you
chat
get mine?
box?
I sent you, I can only see my chat that I sent you. I can't see anybody else's chat.
All right, Jonathan, let's see. So you sent me a private one.
I believe so. I see Stefan's up there.
I see where you raised your hand. Let's see. I think we got everybody on. So, yeah, Jonathan, you're on. Jennifer Rippey, I saw you typing in the chat box. I can't get to. Okay, I see you're having trouble unmuting yourself. That's fine. Scott Perry, did you join in?
I did, yes.
All right, got you down, Scott. What about Michael Cruz? Michael Cruz. Chris Murphy. Chris was with us last week. Milton Barber.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Got you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Garcia, I just saw you pop up there on the camera.
Yes, I'm here. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Good deal.
Okay. Thank you.
And Brian Elmore.
Yes, sir.
All right, got you there. Got you. Welcome back. Smiley Brown. Smiley Brown. Brad Cook. I saw Edward Melvin. You're on, right?
Yes, I'm on. Yes,
Got you, sir. Thank you, sir. Michael Gibson.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Michael Gibson, got you. Adam Evans.
Yes, sir, right here.
Got you. And then Charles Robertson.
Yep.
Got you.
You got me?
Yep, got you, sir. Is anybody on here that I have not called their name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is
Donnie.
Donnie?
Yep, Donnie Williard.
Oh, got you. Yeah, I got you marked down. Yep. Donnie's there. And who's the next guy?
Bill Carroll.
Bill Carroll. Carroll?
Yes, sir.
Eric, were you redoing the names again?
Those were the ones I didn't have, Mike.
Okay, I got you.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So the only people I haven't seen or heard or seen on the screen is Brad Cook, Smiley Brown, Michael Cruz, and Chris Murphy.
Dame un taco.
Eric.
Yes.
Do you mind going back to your January, February slide and your February, March slide for just a second?
Yeah, sure.
You were talking a little faster than I could write.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see.
I'm just going to snap a quick picture of it.
Yeah. You said
the January, February. Yeah, let me just.
Yeah, there's two January, Februarys.
Yeah. You had one more January, February also.
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. And then the February, March one also, please.
And I can send you guys these slides.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
Perfect. Yeah, I just want to compare it to what we're currently doing right now.
Gotcha. All right.
Thank you.
Yep. And so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the share. So we're finished with the slides. Basically, we're going to be talking and going over this program.
Immediately.
They pay through Zelle.
Roger.
Okay. Yeah.
Now commercials, you know, end of month, they're the only ones that I bill end of month. And sometimes it's hard to get money from them. It took me, I used to mow for a real estate company, the vacant properties and houses for sale and stuff like that. Believe it or not, it took me 6 months to get paid, and it took me going to court.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is the truth. That's just the way it is. It's the way it is. The same way with commercial, landscape install jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll tell you up front in the contract, it's going to take 90 days to get paid. And
more like 180.
Yeah. Yeah. We did. We went over a year one time with we did a job down in Alabama. We went down there and did an irrigation system for us. And they told us, they're like, it's going to take us a while to pay you. We've done a ton of work for them. And they're like, can you help us out? And so we went down there and did a system. They'd kind of got screwed out of it. And we did, we did it to help them out. And they were completely honest with us. And, they give us a ton of work afterwards that we got paid within 60 to 90 days. So, but we're spending $84,750 on soil tests. And like I said, we've got to get that money real fast because John Deere, or I'll always call Site One John Deere. They'll want their money in 30 days. So let's look at that lime application. So we'll say that's, site visit number 2. And if we're using, let's do the Cal Turf Pro. And that is actually $15 a bag. Per bag. It's a 50-pound bag. And it's going to give us 10,000 square feet. And so out of our properties, we've got 5,000 yards. And what was the average square foot? 8,320. So what is our total square footage on that? It'll be a little bit more than the math problem we saw at the end of the slides. Well, no, it is. That's same. So we got 41,600,000 total square feet. And we're able to get 10,000 square feet per bag. So we divide that 41,600,000 times, divide it by 10,000. So we're basically going to need 4,160 bags of lime. And that cost us $15 a bag.
Beach.
So we're going to spend $62,400 for our lime. And so, yeah, if we do that soil test, they get the soil test back in 7 to 10 days, and we're out making applications. We literally could complete 2 rounds and actually spent in product alone or materials, because the soil test is a material, $84,750 in that, and then $62,400. We ain't even calculated labor on what it costs to do that. We're already at $147,000 right there in product and soil testing without labor. And we're still waiting on checks.
Una clase.
And so let's hit our first pre-em. So we're doing our first pre-em. And we were going to use 1706, 30%. We're using the Stonewall barricade. That is $22 a bag. And it gives us 12,500 square feet of coverage. So we're going to divide our 41,600,000 divided by 12,500. We're going to need 3,328 bags. And it cost us $22. We're spending $73,216 in product. So our materials is adding up pretty quick. Do y'all find it's are people paying a little bit slower in January and February than they are in the summer, or when do y'all experience your low payments?
Early season. Early season.
Early season. People still trying to get over the Christmas hump, I think, a lot of the time.
We did business like with hospitals and doctors' offices and things like that.
Yeah.
We found they were always slow to pay. Sometimes 45 days before we get a check for the previous month. So it really needs to be written into our contracts better than what we did when we started out. So I'm old now. I can tell you this.
Let's see.
I think that's probably a cash flow when it comes to hospitals.
Oh, yeah. All right. So our second round of pre-emergent. And we're using 1307. And basically, we're spending $22 a bag on that. And we're going to get 12,500 square feet out of the same. So again, we're going to use 3,328 bags times the 22. We're spending again 73,216. Remember, that's just materials cost. That's not even labor. All right, our fifth visit, which is our summer. Summer application. It is $20 a bag. And we're going to cover 10,000 square feet. And so again, 41,600,000 divided by 10,000 is 4,160. So we need 4,160 bags times $20. 83,200. Application 6, which is I like doing the 18-24-12. That's $20 a bag. We get 12,000 square feet. This one's a little bit different. So 41,600,000 divided by 12,000. We're going to need 3,400 467 bags times $20. So 69,340. Let's calculate our seed. So our seed, they said we could get actually 10 to 12,000 feet. So let's do an average of 11,000. And so we got 41,600,000 divided by 11,000. So we're going to need 3,782 bags of seed. And it is actually $80. So 3,782 times 80, 302,560 dollars worth of seed. We might need to drive out to Oregon and get that, right? I'm sure yeah, the Green Resource would like us then, wouldn't they? All right, and then our last application, which is 20-1-5. We're going to get 14,000 square feet.
I'm in a Zoom meeting right now.
It's $18 a bag.
Yeah.
So 41,600,000 divided by 14,000. We're going to need $2,972 bags. $53,496. Besides seeding, what's our most expensive thing we do?
Aeration.
Well, yeah, we didn't calculate that, but out of the numbers right here, what's our second highest after seeding?
Pre-emerge.
But I'm talking about dollar amount.
Soil test.
Soil test. Soil test for them to actually do the actual test. And we're not buying any product. We're just actually paying for the test to actually be done. So what is our total product cost for the year? So those were the questions. We might have to open up that slide deck again. What is our total product cost, including soil test? And let's leave out the seeding. Let's just do soil test and fertility. Almost $500,000. I got 499,000, 499,618.
Same here.
So $500,000 in product. And we're waiting on people to pay. And then we got seeding. We add that seed to it. We had 302,560. A lot of money. So 800,000 to 178. Well, that's doable. The guy that's using service autopilot deploy, who was that? The guy that was using service autopilot? Is that Steven?
Michael Gibson.
Michael. Hey, Mike. And you know, the Lawn Care Millionaire, I remember seeing his old YouTube videos from years ago, and they were cutting 5,000 yards a week. So 5,000 yards fertility, guys, this is doable. This is doable. I got a friend out in the Kansas City area that they do about 2,500 fertility apps customers. So with that number right there, let's look at that 499,618. That is just fertility and soil test. How would we actually figure an application? So if we looked at, you know, soil tests are going to be soil tests. So we're at $16.95 per customer on a soil test. What do you think our labor rate? What should be our minimum labor rate for our crew, our one-person crew? Because you won't want to send more than one person. That is a one employee job. What should we be charging their labor to get there? Well, let's take an average. Let's say it's $50. Let's say our labor rate's $50. Should be higher. It should be higher, but let's take that $50. So if we say $50 in labor to do that, what's that soil test really costing us? That's at $66.95. That's just an average. Like I said, guys, we should be higher. I think the green industry as a whole, we need to come together and raise our prices. But there's always going to be that individual that's going to hurt that for us. But that puts us right at $67 to actually go and do that soil test. So let's look at the other apps. Let's look at the other granular applications. So we got, you know, for our lime, let's look at lime. We got 41,600,000 square feet. And we've got our cost of, you know, 62,400. And if we're getting $50 an hour labor, what's our cost on that?
A little bit over $1 a minute.
A little dollar over a minute. So we got our cost, 62,400, $50 an hour. How much product are we putting out on that 8,000 square foot lawn? That's what we got to figure next. So we said our average lawn is 8,320 square feet. Lime is going to give us 10,000 square feet of coverage per bag. And how much is it per bag? It's $15. So how much are we actually putting out? How many pounds? we got to do the math on what percentage is
40.
We're using 40 pounds.
$12.48 of lime, our cost per yard.
How much is it?
What's the
$12.48?
$12.48.
what's the rate you're putting the lime down at?
Well, it would change based on soil test, but we're just kind of figuring an average.
Right. Well, I'm saying, like, what number are you using? What average are you using?
We
I mean, you're
said
putting it down, are you saying 8 pounds per thousand, or?
we said a bag would do 10,000 square feet at $15
One
a
bag
bag.
does 10,000 square feet.
Yep.
The bag.
8,320 into the 10 gives you 0.84 or something. Then multiply it by the $15. I think it comes to $12.48.
Yeah, 0.832 times the $15. So yeah, the 12.48. Well, and if we're figuring our labor at 50 on average to show up and just do that, so we're looking at 62.48. Still, we're making a little bit more money on the soil test, but the idea now, you guys that are actually putting out these applications all the time, are you finding that your customers want a set price per application? Let's say we got $66.95, $62.48. Let's say we bump that up and we did it for $70 an application.
I think in general, most people expect the
same price
per application.
Yep.
So whether you're putting down lime or fertilizer, it's costing the same.
Exactly. And so the idea is to figure out what each application right here cost us and come up with that average or come up with that same price. And so if we're getting the 62.48 for the lime, pre-emergent, we're getting 12,500 square feet out of a 50-pound bag. I'm looking at about $14.64 for product on that first round of application. We add our 50, again, we're at $64.64. So we're in that $60, $65 range average. Our first pre-em, our second pre-em is going to be the same because it's the same square footage, the same cost. It's $64.64. Our summer app, I'm getting, we've got 10,000 square feet per bag, cost us $20. So again, the 10,000, divided by the 8320 or vice versa. That's going to give us the 1664 product cost. $50 in labor, $66.64. Our fertility, our 1824. We're not talking about seed and just our fertilize there. Is roughly around $13.88 plus the 50. So we got $63.88. So again, everything is coming together around 65. Looking at those numbers though, right there, what do you think would be a good average price? I'm gonna look at my highest one and kind of round it up. And so we got what, $66.95. I'm looking at what, $67 per app. Some I'm gonna make, a couple dollars more. Others I might lose a little bit. And then our last one, our last app. Let's see. Where did I put it? Product cost on the 14,000 square foot bag. We're going to get $10.70 in product.
So 60, 70.
And then so 60, 70. So our most profitable visit, if we're charging $67, is the winter app because we have less in product. So with our $67 per app, what's our total revenue just in fertility apps? You got 5,000 yards times 7 visits. Because we got our first visit, soil test, lime, pre-M1, pre-M2, summer, fall feed, and then winter feed. 7 apps.
2,345,000.
Not a bad year's worth of work, is it? Of just fertility.
Yep.
And that's our revenue. What was our total product cost on that?
Not including seed, wasn't it like a $500,000?
Yeah.
199.
499, 618.
Yeah. Good profit margin.
Exactly. And I've always said, I'm not one to want to work by myself. I love being around people. But if I was going to work by myself, it would be fertility apps. For one, I'm not having to worry about the weather. I mean, if it rains, my customer's not going to get mad that I didn't show up and fertilize today as if I had them on the schedule to mow. You can always make up your applications, the next day by doing a few more here and a few more the next day and get caught up on a rainy day. So Clifford, you said you're doing, 75 an app. So yeah, we're close there. And I think that 67 is probably a little low. It really is. So let's look at the plugging and seeding. What are y'all charging per square foot plugging and seeding? And I know we probably shouldn't be. I mean, I look at you guys as colleagues. I don't mind telling you. But I mean, we should have a square foot price plugging, seeding, and fertilizing. All the classes that I've done, this same class before, we're coming up with an average around $65 per square foot. That included your aeration, your seed, and your fertility.
Say just without the fertilizer, just the aerate, you're looking at like 30. I don't know. It depends. If the larger, the bigger it gets, maybe the price can go down a little bit, but they, around $32 or something like that per square foot for just aeration.
Just putting the holes in the ground.
Yeah.
So that's a.
Whew.
It's a little bit of money there. So we got what, 8,320 times
256, 257.
Too much.
Too much, right? So what is a good price? Because that is, and really, like I said, you need to go and look at that job. But coming up with a plan just like this, it makes your estimating so much easier. And let's see, Clifford's doing what? Plug and seed for 50 pounds, 285 to 295, no fert. Just reading the in the chat box. So 65, y'all think that is, you think it's too much for plugging the holes, putting out the seed, putting out the fertilizer?
For all of it, that seems pretty reasonable.
Seems pretty reasonable.
I think so. For all of it.
Who's that? Who's talking? I'm sorry. I can't see.
Sorry, it's Steve Hughes.
Steve. Oh, hey, Steve. And you're the guy down in Wilmington, right?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
We don't do a lot of seeding.
No. Don't have to, do you?
A lot of sodding if this rain keeps up.
My nephew just started Wilmington this past fall at school down there.
No, did he? Great school.
Yeah. He's doing a 2+2 with NC State, 2 years there and 2 at State for engineering.
For him. What's he studying?
He's in the engineering program. He's not real sure if he wants to go like electrical engineering or like structural. He's doing the like all the general engineering classes.
Yeah. Lots of demand for that down this area.
Yes, I'd love to see him go civil engineer, but he's like, nope.
Yeah, I don't want to screw it.
So, any other questions on this? Oh, the 2 hours flew by. Always does.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, Charles.
Okay, so I'm a contractor, so I just have license, so I don't cut anybody's grass. Right? Did you just say that y'all were charging $52 a square foot to aerate and reseed people's yards?
I've heard a lot of people getting up to 65 per square foot.
Oh, I need to quit construction.
Y'all are getting $200 a square foot to build, right?
Yeah. You're just punching some holes in and dropping some seed.
We were getting 100.
That figure also kind of sounded kind of high to me. Now it might work in your area, but I must have heard there must be something I'm missing. How are you doing? That it sounds like a lot.
Yeah, and like I said, the bigger the yard, the more that'll drop. But even like new seed, shoot, that's just throwing down. We just priced a bunch of commercial work where we were doing. I can't remember what the actual seed was. I mean, 65 does sound a little high. But and you got to break it down per increments.
Isn't it per thousand, or you said per?
Are y'all meaning like 52 cents or $52? Because to do the average yard that you were saying that was 8,300.
Yeah.
That is $431,000.
Yeah. 65 per 1,000 square feet.
Yeah. Okay. Per 1,000.
So if we've got there's 8.3 1,000-foot blocks, so 8 times the 65. And what is that? 400 and
539.50.
520. Oh, I rounded below.
Okay, so I'll keep on doing construction, but if I could get $400,000 to area, I was going to agree to it tomorrow.
Charles, where do you build at? Because you look familiar and your name sounds familiar.
Yeah, in Eastern North Carolina.
Eastern.
Yeah.
Where'd you get your continuing ed from for your builders this year?
Oh, I can't remember. Maybe the home owners.
It's a home builder association.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you said you're where at?
In Williamston. I'm about 30 minutes north of Greenville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Robertsonville, right down the road.
Yeah. 10 miles.
Yep.
Y'all got a lot of construction going on down there?
Oh, no, but I mean, there's some going on, but it ain't like it is in Raleigh, and even Even in like New Bern and places like that is wide open, but we're in a kind of poor section of the state.
Well, and the price of lumber is just unreal now. Too.
Oh yeah.
What, 300% increase?
Yep.
Any other questions? And I remember Jeff Cash. You used to come to my Charlotte class, didn't you?
Yes, sir. I
Okay.
did.
And you got a brother, don't you? Or is it?
My son come with me.
Your
Ronnie.
son comes with you. Okay. Got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool deal. Clifford Ropel. Did I get your, just type your pesticide number in the chat box. So guys, we're right at 2 hours. Any questions? I will get these recorded tonight. So how long is it taking to see these? They said about a week. Are y'all seeing it within a week on your pesticide license?
I've seen it quicker than that.
You've seen it quicker? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Within a couple of days.
Gotcha. Good deal.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
This is Donnie. Do you have classes for the landscape contractor?
I do. Yes, sir. Yep. I'm doing them face to face. I'm doing them Zoom like this, and then I have 100% online where you can kind of take them at your convenience. So.
Yeah, I've got to have a few.
Gotcha. Okay.
Come July.
Yeah. Yep.
When are you starting?
Do what?
When are you starting those?
I've got one in Raleigh next month, and then we're in Winston in April, in Concord in May, June we're in Wilmington, and then Raleigh again back in July.
That's face to face.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay.
And you said you did have some online.
Yeah. You can take them 100% online, where you just watch a video and do a 10 question quiz at the end. So we got all 7 hours available. So you can do them individually, or you can do the whole course at one time. But the good thing is you can watch 15 minutes tonight, 20 minutes the next day.
How do I where do I find that online or whatever I need?
Turfteacher.com.
Okay.
And then click on online landscape CEUs.
Okay. Turf. Yeah, I can get that. Yeah, I need a couple for the landscape and a couple more for irrigation.
Gotcha. Yeah. A couple of those on there will work for both. You get it for both.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you did get my number too, didn't you? I tried to put it on that chat box. I don't know. I'm not sure if it got on there or not.
I'm looking now, Donnie. Donnie, just go ahead and give it to me. I'll write it down here on the roster sheet.
Okay. 026.
Yes, sir.
70 16.
70 16. All right.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And last time for Michael Cruz, did you jump on? Chris Murphy, Smiley Brown, Brad Cook. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Mr. Robertson, we do the general contractors CEs like this too.
Oh, you do those?
Yeah. Yep.
Under the
we
same.
Gotta do what?
Under your same thing, or what's the name of your company that does that?
It's under Turf Teacher, but we run it as Trades Teacher.
Okay.
I usually start those up like summertime because we just renewed. And I know a lot of people are doing them now, but I usually start them up in the summer, and I do them on Wednesday nights.
Okay.
So, in a 2-hour block. So it'd be four Wednesdays would get you all 8 hours.
Well, I'm gonna put my email address. You already have it, but I'm gonna put it in the chat box, and then just put me on your list on that as well.
All right, cool deal.
Okay.
All right.
Just went up to 202 a square foot.
Do what?
I said it just went up to 202 a square foot.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Eric, thank you, sir. You have a good evening.
Guys, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Eric.
All right. See y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks.